It's Saturday, September 3rd, 2022. I'm TC Kirkham, and this is the Kirkham Report. Welcome to the Kirkham Report, peeps. I'm TC Kirkham, and a little bit late this week. I'm usually up at 4. It's going to be a little bit later in the evening because I got so much crazy stuff going on. GCW has a weekend of shows we're watching and taking care of. I have a lot of other things going on, and we're going to talk more about those. And we're going to kick things off with Out of the Box. So, an update on Out of the Box. Last week I said that we had a couple of packages that disappeared, and I don't know what happened to them. Well, complaints to the post office did absolutely jack shit. I got a call back from them. I told them I wanted an email. They called me, left a voicemail. Oh yeah, our system says it's delivered. If you have any questions, call. So, the Carpenter's 45s are probably kaput. The disc I ordered from Enjoy the Ride is probably kaput. Not really pursuing it because the post office is incompetent around here. But I do have this. This is a box of CDs I purchased a couple weeks ago from Don and Mary. I haven't even opened it. I know there's some good stuff in here. And I know some of the titles I really wanted, and some of them were just kind of trials. And I have more coming from Don and Mary. They just paid my invoice to them a couple hours ago. So let's dig into Don's crazy... Oh, no, it's actually packed pretty well. Lots of great CDs. Let's see what we got here. I don't remember what I ordered, so we'll... I decided to take a chance on some of these, and some of them I already knew. So it'll be interesting to see what we've got here. This is a 2 CD set. Dave Stewart and Barbara Gaskin, The Big Idea. This is their later stuff. Dave and Barbara, our British fans will know who they are. They never clicked in America in a big way with their cover of It's My Party, but I always loved it, and I like them. And they got back together, I think it was in the 2000s or late 90s. Let's see. 1990, so it was actually earlier than I thought it was. This is a 2-record set. Can't wait to hear that. That's going to be fun. Prince, 1999. Do not have this on CD. That'll be great to have. Alex Degrassi, Deep at Night. This is jazzy new age stuff. Love him. Love that kind of stuff. I believe the band is called Propaganda. The album is called Wishful Thinking. I'm not quite sure. It's electro pop, from what Dom was telling me, along the lines of stuff produced by Trevor Horn, so I thought that would be fun to try. This is Still Sealed from Sonic Flow Records, 1999. Resonance from John Pimble, made in Canada. This sounds very much up my alley. It's new agey keyboards and stuff. Yikes Records presents Volume 5, so this is a compilation, Best of Michigan. This has a lot of Michigan local acts on it. These were 1995, so it's bands that were alternative, popular in Michigan. I thought this would just be fun to have. It does have an early Verve Pipe song on here. 2 albums. I already have one or maybe both of these, but not this particular thing, because this is actually a single of sorts. It's a maxi single. Alison Moyet and Hoodoo. Also features some of her earlier stuff on here. I love her. And her album Essex, which I don't think I have. I may be wrong. But I love her, and she's awesome. Frida, What's Going On? Do not have this on CD. Have it on vinyl. And I did not have this on either. This is Shine, also from Frida. This is later, 1990s, I believe. Richard McCook can probably tell me about this one. And finally, CD single, Stephen Phillips and Ben Summers, Metanoians. This is, again, sounds primarily instrumental, but I thought it sounded interesting and I'd give it a try. So I got some interesting CDs to go through. Right now I'm not able to play them that well. I have to do them on the computer. And the drive on this computer is not really conducive, as I found out when I ripped my Tomorrow People CD a couple weeks ago. So I have tons of CDs I haven't ripped yet that I bought in the last couple of years, and this is going to go into that pile. But that is out of the box for this week, and hopefully next week I'll have another shipment of 45s and such from Dawn and Mary, so stay tuned. Weeks ago on Question of the Week, I asked you what really burns your cookies as a record collector. What gets to you when you're looking for buying and purchasing records? Heard from a number of people. Garage Geek says, burns me as a record collector, a brand new 2-record set released in a single sleeve, no gatefold. If I'm paying top dollar, I want more art. I just bought Sinead O'Connor's Greatest Hits, 2 records. I didn't check it carefully enough. 1 sleeve. I have also bought the soundtrack to Oh Brother, Where Art Thou, and it was also a 2-in-1 sleeve. Yeah, I don't like that either. They've been doing that since the 1980s. I think the first one that I ever got that was like that was Donna Summer's On the Radio Greatest Hits Volumes 1 and 2. Couldn't bother with a gatefold. They did the single sleeve. And I mean, it's usually a little bit larger, but that, yeah, I don't like that either. Richard McCook said, wishes to answer about what annoys me about record collecting, especially buying new records. My main gripe is the number of formats and the pricing, especially from a certain online store that is also the name of a famous river. The best example I can give is the David Bowie album, Toy. The album was part of a recent box set, Brilliant Adventure, itself being too pricey for me, but I knew it would be released as a standalone release somewhere down the line. Here are the following formats. Number 1, a box set of 6 by 10 vinyl, 10-inch vinyl discs, which originally retailed at 116 pounds. After 1 week, it was reduced to 96 pounds, so I took the plunge. I felt bad as my nearest record store had to sell it for 120 pounds. This box set is now sitting at 50 pounds on Amazon. Maybe I should be more patient, but how can they justify selling it at less than half price? A good bargain for any that refused to pay the original extortionate price. Number 2, Record Store Day release, another 10-inch with alternate takes, etc., and it was $38. Being a big Bowie fan, I had to have it, but why so expensive? Number 3, 2 by 12-inch version of the album, the one I really wanted, and if it had been released first, the only one I would have bought, finally gets released at 38 pounds. So I ended up spending 172 pounds on Toy. I should have just splashed out on the Brilliant Adventure box set, which itself has come down in price since it was originally released. Yeah, all these multiple releases of stuff drive me up the wall too. You got, you know, Target exclusives, and you've got Amazon exclusives, and you've got Walmart exclusives, and I'm not buying all three. I mean, they've been doing this with CDs for years too. I remember one of my favorite acts, the Ready Set, they released a separate version of the second album, the second full album, was released at Target with 2 extra songs and a DVD. It was released on Amazon with a different extra song and an EP. It just got really ridiculous, so I just ordered mine directly from Warner Brothers and took what I could get. I don't like that either. It just irritates me. I wish the record labels would stop gouging like that. From Steve Carlson, I don't know, I'm a pretty relaxed guy, but what burns my cookies, I don't like unorganized record stores and stores that jack up their prices to the higher dollar amount on Discogs. That's not right. I also don't like people claiming an album is mint but has been opened and played. It is now near mint, but none of this keeps me up at night. Yeah, Steve, I'm in agreement with you on all of those. I don't really worry about mint or near mint as long as it sounds good. And they shouldn't be trying to sell them as mint if it's not sealed. That's just how I feel. Near mint, even if it's been played once, that's fine. But yeah, I can understand that. Unorganized record stores, a lot of them in the last days of the original run when I was here in Boston were kind of disorganized. Now the newer ones are so well done and so well put together. It's not very often we see that. Thank you for your answers, guys. And now this week's question. It's all about Bandcamp. What attracts you to Bandcamp, and what artists have you found on Bandcamp that you love, whether they're just streaming or whether they've produced hard copy CDs or LPs. I know, thanks to Steve Carlson, I discovered Michael Christensen through Bandcamp, and there's a lot more that I enjoyed on Bandcamp. I enjoy a great band out there, and you'd think it was out of my wheelhouse because it's kind of new metal, screamcore, alt stuff. Band called Coronet out of Texas. I got into them because their lead singer is a wrestler, and I also got into a number of other acts on Bandcamp, and I'll list a few of them in the days ahead. But I want to know who you found and who you would recommend from Bandcamp, and that is this week's question of the week. Couple of shout outs this week, both of whom are people I have connected with thanks to my recent contest. And by the way, Jamie Cottle, I still haven't heard from you. If you can't, you need to get in touch with me by 1 week from today, September 10th, to claim your second prize. So make sure you do that. I hooked up with Rob Skier Music. Rob Skier Music has some really great videos over there. And I'm not saying that just because he sent me these great Barnaby by VCLT last week. I've listened to a couple of them. They're fantastic. But I love some of the stuff he does. He does deep dives and single artist deep dives. He does album profiles. He does a little bit of everything. And I'll have the show note link in the show notes for you if you haven't checked him out. The other one, and I just read one of his letters, is Garage Geek. He and I have some very similar tastes in some areas, but he also likes a lot of other stuff that is new to me, and I'm sure I've got stuff that's new to him. All kinds of stuff. We're both all over the road type of people, and he's fairly new to the vinyl community, and he's got under 200 subscribers, so go over and take a look and listen to what he does, because he is very entertaining and very informative. Rob Skier Music and Garage Geek, this week's Shoutouts of the Week. In the back pages this week, going to get a little bit nostalgic, if I may. I had a discussion with my pal Jeff over at Calico Silver this week. He posted a great video on why music shouldn't be competitions. And I really loved that video, and I took some points home with him because I enjoy the talent contests on television. But he wasn't talking just about those. He's also talking about, you know, stuff like the Van Cliburn competition and the Guitar World competition. And in all honesty, I agree with him in the aspect that we got to talking about. There's nowhere on TV, major TV, network TV, to sit back and watch people just perform music anymore. Jeff and I are close to the same age. I think he's a year or two older than me. And we grew up watching the same television shows. And I don't know, I talk about television a couple of times on influencers, but I really miss the days when there were shows where you could sit back and watch your favorite performers just perform. You didn't have to compete. Now, I admit, I love America's Got Talent. I really enjoyed Rising Star for the one season it was around. I keep up on American Idol and The Voice to check out people, and I have found some great acts out there over the last few years, including Sawyer Fredericks, Dylan Zangwill, Jacob Velasquez, Emil and Daryl, rock cellos, and a bunch of other people on those shows, and Jesse Kench, who I've spotlighted a couple of weeks ago. But why aren't there more shows where you can just go perform? You get those on YouTube. There's a great YouTube show called Jam in the Van that has all different kinds of artists, all different kinds of music. But I miss those days when I used to kick back and relax and watch a good hour-long or even longer show that focused just on music performances. Performance was everything back then. And yeah, a lot of the time they were lip-synced. If you were on American Bandstand, it was a lip-sync performance. And so was Solid Gold in the 80s. But those shows were fun to watch. I enjoyed watching the comedy around the music. I enjoyed watching the music. Midnight Special was great too. The only real rock concert shows out there were In Concert on ABC and Don Kirshner's Rock Concert, which was syndicated. And those were great shows too if I could stay up late enough to watch them. Both of those were on, In Concert was on at 11:30 on Friday, and I was usually watching Midnight Special once it started. And Don Kirshner's Rock Concert in our market ran after Saturday Night Live, and I didn't really start watching it till I got older. But I did watch the variety shows, and people complain about variety shows, and today's television mindset is all about instant gratification. You don't have the time span, you don't have the attention span to watch a variety show. But I remember my mom loving the Dean Martin Comedy Hour when I was a kid. Dean would sing, and he would, do these comedy sketches. Later on in the 70s, he split the show between comedy and music and the roasts. There were great music shows like the Glenn Campbell Good Time Hour and the Smothers Brothers comedy shows, both from the 1980s, from the 1960s, and the short-lived one in the 1970s. Sonny and Cher had a couple of great shows, both before and after they got divorced. Cher had her own great solo show in between. Sonny had his own not so great also. Donnie and Marie, Captain Tennille, and dare I say it, even Pink Lady and Jeff has their fans. It was fun to watch for the performances, and because you got to interact. You didn't have to worry about, oh, who's going to get the higher score. It was just about enjoying the music. And I definitely see where Jeff is coming from on that. There's so much out there on the internet that you can see shows like Jam in the Van. There's a few from England. There's performance shows from Eurovision every year, in and around the contest aspect of it. But I do miss those old days of watching people perform. The Ed Sullivan Show runs frequently on PBS stations and on oldies channels. You can see some of those older variety shows on some of the newer streaming channels. I don't think MeTV shows them, but for a while, Antenna TV was running classic Tonight Show episodes under just the title Johnny Carson. And you can get a lot of those online now, too. It's not quite the same watching them online, but there are a great number of concerts that have been done online, especially since the pandemic started, and it's all been about performance. Sawyer Fredericks has done a number of them. Billy Gilman has made it an art form. There's a whole bunch of great acts that have done stuff. Didi Freyer, one of my artists you should know, did a whole hour of Eurovision covers during the pandemic's cancellation period. And if you've never seen him, it's a great deal of fun because you see how on the fly he truly is, and what it really makes it click. And I miss those performance shows. They still have them in other parts of the world. Europe still has them. Germany still has a few. Norway, Sweden, England. I don't know why they died in the U.S. It was a different time, different place. I guess that's all you can say. But television programmers who are looking for new things, it would be nice if you come up with just a performance show rather than a talent show once in a while, and just invite top performers to come perform. You might find yourself with a bigger audience than you think. And that's the back pages this week. Before I get on out of here, I want to remind you that Don, Two Hip Chicks, and I have a live stream this Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern here on TKR VideoCentral, Finding Your Music Mojo. We will be talking about records, record collecting, answering your questions, and having all kinds of fun during the chat. So please come and join us. It is every fortnight, every 2 weeks at Mondays at 6. This week on my channel, and the next show will be on Don's. Just that simple. Also, don't forget that I normally have regular shows. This week I kind of skipped them because we got kind of crazy at work and I didn't have time to get all of them done. Excuse me, but I do have Influencers on Tuesdays, Rank This on Thursdays, this show on Saturday, and the Pop Retro Countdown on Sunday, all at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific, and whatever time locally that is around the world. I do have a couple of new things I'm going to be adding in. They're going to go in on a bi-weekly basis, I think. And I'm still going to be trying to do this button pin video that I haven't had time to do, and a few other little extras over the next couple of weeks, including some other videos involving Record Store Rewind. I've had a few inquiries on that, so please get involved with helping Record Store Rewind get off the ground. Go over to recordstorerewind.com and get all the info, or check out the Record Store Rewind video I made about a week ago, and you can find out all about how to do it, looking for your memories, your photos, everything of past, present, and even future record stores. So please come get involved. Got a lot more coming up in the weeks ahead. I hope you'll stay around. If you haven't subscribed already, please do. And if you have, thank you. I appreciate it. Lost a few since the contest, but not too many. And I hope that means most of you like what you're seeing here. And as always, leave a comment. I love reading you. I may not get a chance to write to all of them. I've been getting a lot lately, but I'm trying to answer them as quickly as I can. So please definitely leave a comment. And don't forget to check me out every Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern, what is that, 8 a.m. Pacific, and whatever your local time is around the world, for TKR's, TC's Daily Obscuria Vaults. I was having problems uploading on Friday, so it didn't get up till almost 1, but every other day it's usually up at 11 o'clock, and I hope you'll check it out. And I hope you'll be here next week for next week's edition. Until next week, I'm TC Kirkham, the Kirkham Report. I'll see you later. Ciao, baby.